Alright, hello everyone. This is GetSelious and SithScott with another news roundup, and we're going to be direct with you this time. And by direct, I mean Nintendo Direct. And we'll be covering mostly what we liked, maybe disliked, and more stuff about it. So, Scott, direct us to the first line of the news.
So I'm gonna do the start of what I think they should have started with anyways, which was Switch Sports. You know, the Wii Sports used to be a big thing and was probably one of the most bought games on the Wii because it was sold with the console.
Yep.
Switch Sports is now released, seen. And honestly, it looks a lot more engaging than Wii Sports ever did. Which, I'm not saying Wii Sports is a bad game, it's very good for like casual gamers, but after you play it for like maybe an hour or two, it was just like boring.
That is very
Switch
true.
Sports seems to have a lot more going for it. And they're including a new soccer strap for your legs, so you can actually kick the ball while you're playing it on the Switch, which is kind of interesting.
That's true.
But there's a lot of different categories it has for it. It kind of streamlined, I think, a lot of it. They're bringing back tennis and bowling because, you know, those are the best two ones.
Those are the ones
They're
you could win
also-
at.
Yeah, still, maybe. But they're also bringing in, like, a sword fighting one from, like, the Wii Sports Resort.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it's actually going to be a little more interesting than looking at Wii Sports Resort, which, don't get me wrong, Wii Sports Resort, the sword fencing one was actually really fun. It was like the only thing that was good on the Wii Sports Resort disc.
That'd be fun to play with friends. Exciting. I hope, again, this is a big deal for me because we live in this current world situation. Oh, the netcode's good to play against friends and family. Netcode's a deal, you know.
We're talking about Nintendo, so it's either going to be Mario Kart 8 Great or it's going to be every other game.
All right. Should we talk about the elephant in the room here then? Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, Mario
Yeah.
Kart 8 DLC. That I wasn't too happy about it, but at the same time, it was good to get more from Mario Kart 8 because I mean, it's like the one game everyone owns on Switch. Let's be real. If you have
Well,
a Switch, you probably have Mario Kart 8.
yeah. Unironically, I did not buy Mario Kart 8 for my fiance for her Switch. I had to make a difficult choice. It was either Animal Crossing or that, and I know she loves Animal Crossing, so
You made the right choice.
yeah.
I mean, Mario Kart's not bad.
No,
Mario
no.
Kart 8 is easily like one of the best Mario Karts in terms of how it plays and how polished it is.
Oh yeah, it's insane. It's to me at this point. I think Mario Kart 8 is honestly the perfect Mario Kart. It has courses from every game. The DLC, the netcode is solid. You can play against any. It's just like, I really don't like. How are they going to top Mario Kart 8? You know?
So they're not. They're just gonna add more to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a safe thing to do, which is weird because Nintendo's not usually the safe bet. But they also did it for another big reason, as the DLC is included in your Nintendo Switch expansion pack, which I'm guessing not a lot of people bought because it's overpriced for what it is, and so they're like, we'll add more incentives for people to get it. And this is their way to do it. And ironically, this probably will work.
Yeah.
Getting more people onto their expansion pass because of how much they're going to be put into this. Because they have like 48 new tracks coming in the space of a year and a half. So, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's a good way to incentivize more sales. But as long as they put content in it, because I don't want it to feel a bit exploitative. Like the only reason why because it was one thing. You know?
Yeah, I think as long as they're consistent with like the length of their DLC and like when it gets released, it's not going to be like another, the Super Nintendo emulator where it, like sometimes you'll get a game a year.
A year. I stand by my my friends who sail the high seas on that argument.
Which, I mean, Breath of Fire's on there. That's what matters.
Yeah, Lord, we miss Breath of Fire.
So let's go to a more happy one. Well, kind of. Everyone was hoping for Mother News, Mother 3, most likely.
Yeah,
But
most likely.
we got Mother 1 and Mother 2 instead.
Yeah, Earthbound Beginnings, they're calling it.
Yeah.
I'm excited first if people get to play the game in some capacity, at least in an official setting. I'm also very happy for this and for another reason. If you've seen the Nintendo Direct, or if you've seen, you see Itoi there. We haven't seen Itoi in years, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name. And he looks so happy just completing the game, and he's like, people playing this game now could be my great grandchildren. Yeah, you made a masterpiece, dude. You are single-handedly like one of the godfathers of the RPG genre for making only 3 games. Because how much style and influence you had is really great.
I mean, there are 3 games that are still relevant and in conversation, so yeah.
Exactly. yeah. If he could,
a ton of RPGs are still being like named as inspired by different mothers.
Yeah, which I'm still waiting for, Nintendo to release Mother 3, because as much as I, am friends with my friends on the high seas, I would like to give you money for something so it'll encourage you to do better business. But if you don't, it's me and my cruise ship.
Just gonna be playing it with the black flag on.
Incognito
no
flag. Yeah, exactly.
It's not like I wouldn't want to buy it. It's just I can't.
Exactly. Which
I
goes.
feel like that's probably 90% of people are wanting to buy this game so that they can incentivize getting either more games like it or more mothers.
Yeah. Well, he kind of said he'd make no more games with Mother 3. 3 is the last one, so I don't think he'll be making any more games.
True. It's very possible that he won't be making it. What about remaking it?
I don't know how he feels about that. I mean, if you've seen Grandpa Itoi, he has seen better days. He's happy though. I'm just glad he's happy though.
That's what matters. Yes, talking about more RPGs that this entire Nintendo Direct was RPG heavy. I feel.
They're
my favorites got shown today.
Oh.
Which was Chrono Cross was getting its remaster, which was something that's been in the rumor mill for like the last year at least.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited that it actually came out. I got super excited before when a mobile game called Another Eden came out, saying, "Hey, we're doing a crossover with Chrono Cross," and it's just like, okay, that either means one of 2 things. One, why, when the game itself was like inspired by Chrono Trigger, in case you don't know about Another Eden. Oddly enough, I've been playing that game since it began because of the fact that it was like inspired by Chrono Trigger. And so I was really interested to see what else would go. And so the second thing was there's going to be a remaster coming eventually. And yeah, the second one is right. Chrono Cross is getting an official remaster. They'll be on the Nintendo Switch, the PS4, and Steam, and probably Xbox. I think Xbox is getting it too. So everyone's getting Chrono Cross. Good. Everyone should.
It should. Like I said, I remember back in my youth when Chrono Cross was around, everyone was not very had positive opinions of it because it wasn't Chrono Trigger. But I'm just happy people are giving the game a fair shot.
Yeah, I was sadly on that side of the argument of I didn't like Chrono Cross because it wasn't Chrono Trigger, and I think it's because it was named Chrono Cross. There's no Chrono in it except for near the end. Spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah.
Chrono Cross is actually a really good game, and it delves deeper into the time. Well, not really. Well, it's kind of time travel, kind of dimension travel. You have to really play the game to understand what that means. Ultimately, it has a lot of different ways to play this game, and it's all dependent upon who you bring with you in your party and how you use them. And I think that's a really interesting concept of just basically utilizing the party members that you choose as a way to show how ending's gonna go for you.
Yep.
And there's a humongous cast especially for its time. So I'm really happy that we're getting the Chrono Cross remaster. And I know there's a lot of people who are sad because it's not Chrono Trigger, and it's just like, I understand, I want Chrono Trigger 2, but we still have the DS version.
True, and
Chrono Cross got no love since it got released.
There was a
the fact that it's getting love is a good thing.
Yeah. And with this, because the thing I'm more happy about this is that Square Enix is now publishing a lot of the non-Final Fantasy RPGs and republishing them. We've gotten Romancing Saga, we gotten the Mana series. I'm excited to see what else they'll print now. Are we gonna get reprints? Are we gonna remasters the Final Fantasy Tactics series? Are we gonna get remasters of some of their other non-RPGs like Bushiden? And there's so many RPGs that were like critical darlings or just never got the light of day, and the market is fresh. I'm so excited to see it.
I'm really hoping that if they do add more of their, I guess, library as a remaster, I want to get Legend of Dragoon.
Legend of Dragoon would be pretty sweet. I personally, well, they're already doing the Dragon Quest / Dragon Warrior remix. Well, Dragon Quest remix. So I'm happy on that end.
Remaster remixes, whatever.
Yeah. Well, we're getting them, right? We're getting them some way. So.
Yeah. I guess going on to a more depressing topic because this is on the list apparently. Kingdom Hearts was randomly in this direct for the cloud versions. I was like 75% hoping that they just removed the cloud at like the end because it was just like the masterpiece comes to the Switch. It's just like maybe. And no, it's still the cloud version. And speaking of which, if you go onto the Nintendo website and you look up their cloud versions, it is only available in Canada and the United States.
USA #1, baby.
Cloud server, I think, like in Japan, that has very limited range. But overall, if you're in the United States and Canada, you're safe. Everywhere else, good luck.
We did it. We finally shown the USA domination and Canada.
This is what George Washington had all along up his sleeve.
Yeah, it was not about freeing America from the Brits. It was getting us the best and only version of Kingdom Hearts series.
I'm secretly crying because I want better.
Yeah. I'm honestly, real talk though, it's I think Kingdom Hearts coming to Switch is nice, but this game has been released enough times. I'm like, please, no more Kingdom Hearts, no more. But I'm glad it's on the Switch, so some people have a chance to play it if they choose to play on the Switch. But again, only Canada and America, so it's even more complicated in that aspect.
Yeah, good luck everywhere else. On to a happier note, Mario Strikers is coming back, baby.
Yeah. I've heard some contention about it. Some people who are more into the Strikers scene has been a bit wary that how the certain teams are made and how the certain from the reveal and how the equipment works. Some people worry it's gonna be like a pay-to-win type system or something. I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see. Mario Strikers has always been fun.
Yeah, that's important to know. Is this is gonna have a lot different aspects to the game, but I hope that it's not like a pay-to-win, and I don't think it will be. Knowing Nintendo, they'll probably just add some random DLC, probably to their expansion pack that may include added stuff, but I don't think it's gonna make or break a team. I think it's just gonna be like an addition to it.
That sounds like a good idea, actually.
Because I mean, they're just trying to find more stuff to sell their expansion pass. Why not?
Very true.
But I'm just excited that it's on the radar again. Like, I know there's so many people who were hoping for more Mario Strikers. We're gonna be on so many different systems that weren't after the Wii, pretty much. I think it's like the Wii had like all the IPs they had, and then they just like pretty much let them die off.
That's one way to look at it.
Finally bringing some back. I don't think we'll get all of it back because if you think about the Wii's library, it was like scarily big. Like that system had so many games on it. They were
really
all were good.
No, they were like, we're gonna make the most. Oh god, I don't describe it. It was like, so I heard you want to keep putting stuff on here. It's not a good idea. It was, you know, I hate to say the term. It felt like they were intentionally making shovelware on purpose. You know.
Oh, 100%. And the fact that there was discs that had shovelware.
Yeah.
I still can't believe Chicken Shoot is a game. And I still can't believe it got a remaster.
At least, someone out there was feeling it. They were feeling this is the perfect time for a Chicken Shoot remaster. Oh, God.
If you're the person that Chicken Shoot is your favorite game, please comment below so I can just ask you why.
Or he'll Liam Neeson. I will find you, and I will Roblox you. You know.
1v1 Windjammers, bro. You'll still beat me, but at least I'll feel good about it.
1v1 Windjammers, bro. Oh man. On a side note, I actually got the achievement of beating every story mode in Windjammers, and Carl Wessel is gay. He's cool though. He proposed to one of the fans in the crowd, not the Windjammer girl.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, I beat a little story mode every character. But yeah, speaking of story modes, direct us to the next news, my good buddy.
So, Splatoon 3 actually got an announcement too. They're actually, working. It'll be released, and they showed off a kind of a horde mode, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not the biggest Splatoon fan, and not because it's a bad game, but it's not my kind of game.
I see. I'm iffy on Splatoon. It's always fun. I like seeing clips of it. Now that my fiance owns a Switch, I may buy her Splatoon so I can play it. I don't know. She does like the music and the cute graphics, so I don't know. I've always it always seemed like a fun game. I don't know how good the netcode is, but that's about it.
Yeah, I can't help you there. I don't think it's gonna be Mario Kart good, but hey, maybe it's on a spectrum from the cloud service to Mario Kart deals to Mario Kart Online. That's the spectrum from Nintendo.
They really, oh man. I hope they, like I said, I hope they invest more and more into the network and netcode, because that's a real big deal for me for gaming, for online gaming now.
Oh, especially online gaming. Like it's really hard to try to go back to games that don't have that kind of netcode and just try to play it online.
Right.
It's just kind of terrible.
Exactly. I think we mentioned in our last news roundup, previous news roundup that a Duelist from Eden has rollback netcode. That's a done deal for me. I'm in there.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, as long as it's like companies that actually are trying to go to a like online scene, which Duelist from Eden is, they should probably have some kind of netcode in it that makes it, run well when you're online.
Yeah, the future, baby.
Not something like Scott Pilgrim's.
Yeah.
That's don't play Scott Pilgrim online. Just do couch co-op with it, because its code for online is just garbage.
Speaking of garbage things, we're getting Zeno Chronicles 3, baby.
Ouch. We didn't get a lot of it, but the fact that they're actually working on it and it has a release date of this year is actually pretty big. They've been keeping this under wraps for a good chunk, especially with how crazy the Xenoblade Chronicles fan base is.
Oh yeah. And I don't mean it's garbage. It's that like the second game is like, oh my god, I can't describe the pain.
It's boring.
Yeah, it just compared to the first game.
Yeah, the first game was great. The second game, not so much. The DLC was great though too, which is kind of weird. Just you don't need to play the second game though to understand the DLC. Just play the DLC of the second game and you'll be fine. It's a lot more engaging and it has a lot more satisfaction for playing it.
Yeah,
the second game just felt like a slog that I want to get myself out of, because I'm like, people are praising this game to high heaven. I must get through it. And by the end of it, I mean, sure, it was okay, but it was not worth that first half of the game.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they learn the lessons and make the game much more engaging like the first one. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see where the story goes from here.
I agree. And we're getting another IP that's coming back from the dead. Is Klonoa is getting a remaster and is coming to the Switch.
It's been a while. We saw a young blue furry hat dude. It's been a while. I'm excited about this because it's been such a long time I've seen a Klonoa game.
Oh, I'm excited too. Like, I haven't actually played the Klonoa games, but I have seen it very prominent in a lot of various Nintendo fan bases. So it's just like one of those games that just, I don't know, it's kind of like the black sheep kind of deal where it's very prevalent and it's there, just not a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah, it's like one of the I would say I'm more of the black sheep of the platformer family, but I'm definitely looking forward to it 100%. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited that it's getting more. I'm just honestly more excited that Nintendo is, looking at their IPs and seeing what they want to make.
Anytime we get that,
like we were on a very slog of just constant, I don't know, the same franchises over and over again. They're turning into like an Xbox or a PlayStation that way.
Yeah. Yeah, still waiting for that F-Zero, baby.
That will be the day. They keep saying that they can't innovate it somehow, but there's probably a lot of ways you can actually innovate on F-Zero. But I don't take that as a good excuse.
No. I think they're, how to put this, they're very confident in, this is a little off tangent here, they're very confident in their racing IP when it comes to Le Mario. So they don't want anything to compete with the Mario racing thing, any resources, everything go to this.
Yeah. You just reminded me that they actually are releasing a Disney racer for the Nintendo Direct. and that was interesting.
Yep.
It is kind of like a Pixar Disney mix too, because there's a lot of both of those in it. They showed a little bit of gameplay, but I don't understand a lot of what they were showing on it. I hope that we get to see more about that when it comes out, or when it's closer to coming out.
Well, as long as it's better than Garfield Kart, we'll be fine, I guess, right?
Hey, don't you disrespect Garfield Kart?
Garfield Kart's a meme, bro.
Okay, yeah. But it's like $1. You could buy anywhere for $1.
Oh, God.
Things that I guess can go back to. Live Alive is also in the Direct. They're actually doing a 2.5D remaster of it, which is actually the thing that I really like. I want to see more games that get remastered in a different way. And this one is definitely one of the ways that I want to see it. Like, I want to see games that are in, like, say, normal 2D into a 2.5D, where you get to see a lot more of the art of the characters as they're, like, in the foreground versus the background kind of deal. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think there's a couple. I can't think it was another game. I think it was a Dragon Quest games being 2.5D'd. I can't remember. Yeah, but I definitely.
You're right.
Yeah, but I'm very excited to see just another game again. Another kind of one-off, maybe small fun RPG, just get reintroduced to the modern era, and more people like it because they're like. Scott, you can agree with me. I feel the last couple of years, regardless of the type of RPG person you're in the golden era of RPGs. You got CRPGs, strategy RPGs, small RPGs, story-driven RPGs, visual novel RPGs. We are in the best time to be an RPG fan. Even retro
100%.
RPGs, yeah. So it's like, just keep pumping them out, baby.
I mean, I know I was actually remembering a tweet of people talking about how there's so much saturation of like the RPG maker market, and I was just like, I don't care, give me more.
I disagree with that. It's some are good, some aren't. That's just the way it is. But the fact at least people are making it, that's the kicker for me. Like, let's keep doing it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, most like developers that I know who are like indie or into the RPG maker scene are very much passionate about what they make, and I think that's the biggest draw for me for a lot of games, is seeing the creator's passion in it. That's why I like indie devs a lot, because they put so much time and energy into some of the smallest things because that's what they want to do.
Yes. And shout outs to Mr. Francesco Gonzalez putting all that effort into your favorite sheriff sitting in that great chair.
He deserves all that love. That was like, I still think one of my favorite animations of all time of sitting down. It was so clean. Yeah,
if you guys know what we're referring to, check out the Rosewater playthrough. You would see the greatest sit animation of a time frame. I kid you not.
It really is. Speaking of random sitting things, Kirby is also in the Nintendo Direct. They showed off a new Kirby game that'll be coming out. And honestly, it's a more unique take, but at the same time, it's something I felt like they should have done like earlier kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's like absorbs things and then turns into them as well, rather than just having it as like a hat or as a superpower.
Yeah.
It's like he absorbs a car and then he turns into the car.
Becomes the car. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool for like Kirby to have this going on. How to put this? He moved from a 2D platformer to what he should have been a couple of years ago, full 3D platformer person, and I think it's cool. I'm probably gonna pick up this game for my fiance and hope she likes it.
Yeah, I hope that it's really good. I haven't been too big into the Kirby scene, but that's just because I'm lazy.
Fair.
This next one is actually one that probably surprised me the most. Portal is getting Portal 1 and 2 on the Nintendo Switch as like native versions. And I was not expecting, of all like the games, I was not expecting that one to randomly show up in this Direct.
Well,
so Nintendo Switch is getting Portal, everyone.
Yeah, much another. Yep. Which you had a Portal. Yep, time to solve your science puzzles and get your science memes on.
Last one is Triangle Strategy.
Ah, yes. Your favorite game.
This is like, I think, the monkey bomb. This is like the perfect kind of like tactical RPG game that adds a lot of depth to the characters, that has a lot of depth to the gameplay and to the model and how you play it. And then when they decided on a title, they put it as the Project Triangle Strategy game, as like their work in progress. after like the second time they announced it, they removed the project and just called it Triangle Strategy. And it's just like the laziest way to name this game. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that I feel like this could have taken another go at the drawing board of what for you want as a name.
I don't consider it lazy. I consider it quite beautiful. Hear me out. How else will you know it's a strategy of the triangles? What if the entire game is you trying to get a triangle and actually defeat all your enemies with it, huh? What about rhombuses? What about octagons, you know? Octagons are like
So
mini
what is
triangles.
this, the Force?
Hey, we're not trying to get sued here, okay?
I mean, it's not one of those things that I don't understand. I just feel like when you look at like the names of the characters in this, and you look at like all the effort they did to make this as like a fleshed out world, and then it's called Triangle Strategy, it doesn't give like the fantastical vibes the game is trying to go for.
I agree. I'm excited to see this game because it'll also be released on the platforms, but I'm glad the Switch is getting it too. The one thing I could say that made the Switch a little more successful, even though I'm not a really pro Nintendo guy, I'm happy that the Switch has been opening themselves up to third-party platformers and putting much more content on their games. Because it's good. Because the problem with Nintendo was like they just didn't have enough stuff, you know?
Yeah, and it didn't help that like when you are like the weakest console on the market, that you pretty much have to force other developers to make stuff on your platform, because otherwise they're going to give it to the other two ones that have stronger powers. It's just now that we live in an era where the Switch is so successful, it's almost dumb not to get more games on your platform and to get more sales, because the Switch actually sells a lot of software. Because there's so many people just wanting to buy games on their Switch. Even if, say, you already have that game, you still want it on the Switch so you can have it on the go.
That is very true, yeah.
I just have Final Fantasy X on everything, so I mean, I had to get it on the Switch when it released there.
How many times are you gonna have that Titus laugh, dude? Chill.
I will have that as my funeral music, thank you very much.
Bro, it's not your story. You're dead. It's over. The story is over when you die.
It's not my story.
God, the guy who voiced Auron, I don't know if he knows, but he has the voice of a meme.
He does, but I still think that's part of the reason why Auron was always my favorite character growing up with that game.
Oh god, he was... When I first played him in Final Fantasy X, he was so cool. Just his design look, I had no idea he was doing. Then I got older in the story, like, he's just losing his mind. But yeah, he's really, really cool.
Yeah, and you blame Auron for losing his mind for everything that happens to him in this game.
Yeah. Oh god. Oh yeah, your dad's responsible for me being dead. Say what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
but that's
man.
all that we have for this Nintendo Direct lineup.
Yeah.
We probably did miss some things because honestly, Nintendo had a lot of games that they showed. Like, this entire Direct was just games. And that is honestly what I want from Nintendo Directs, as well as what I want from State of Plays, or what I want from whatever Microsoft wants to do for their digital, I guess,
Expo. Yeah.
Expo.
Exactly. Just give us the games. And what you guys can do for us, you can give us your sub, give us that like, drop a comment below. And what you can also give us is, follow us on our social medias, you can be updated live for the other things we do. I stream on twitch.tv occasionally, and so does Scott. And yeah, give us some of that love, man. We covered Nintendo Direct, and none of us said horrible things about Nintendo, at least openly. Right, Scott?
I will not say anything about that.
That's right. We love you, Mr. Miyamoto. We love Mario and Donkey Kong. The games you make are great. That is it. I read a line, right? Please, you won't hurt my parents anymore, right?
Ouch.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, guys, thanks again for chilling with us again. Subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and follow us on our social medias linked below in the description box. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.